Hello my fellow mayors and welcome to perafilozof City Skylines videos. In this one I'll be continuing to build up the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. The city is called Bedrock and I have increased my population up to 145,000 sims. Now the trouble that I have at the moment is that I have a lot of empty jobs that are still yet waiting for people to be employed and start working there. There is about 5,000 jobs are left to be filled. Now this means that I need more residential areas to be filled up. Some have already been filled up, like this one here. There isn't a single spot left. So what I can do for areas like that is to create a new district onto that single area and increase the tax. Since nobody else needs to move in there, they can pay the higher tax. The one that I create by creating a district and then using the policy for the tax raise. Because the global tax is at 9%, with a tax raise they're gonna be paying 11%. Also this area needs a pet ban to reduce the amount of garbage they produce, parks and recreation to increase the land value, and big business benefactors so that the commercial buildings can be more profitable. As the next area here builds up all of its own high density residential areas, I'll be upgrading here with the expansion of this new district, and then this area will also pay the higher taxes. Now I seem to have messed up the district a little bit. Let me just fix this before I continue on forward. Okay, that kind of finishes that whole thing. I do have a lot of these small 1x1 buildings here next to the highway itself, and they're fine, I mean, as long as they do not run out of anything. I think I noticed that I had a smallish issue up here where I hadn't extended one of my pipes enough, so this office wasn't covered by water coverage, and now I have fixed that as well. The trouble that I have is that these older areas seem to just refuse to get filled up with the maximum amount of residents. Even in these areas where I have remodeled the areas some time ago, they have not filled everything up with residential. But they do keep coming into these zones here, which is understandable because the taxes here are 4% lower than in the rest of the city, because these parts of the city pay 9% plus 2 with the raised taxes, and these areas have tax relief for 2%, so the difference is 4%, and they do move in. By increasing the taxes for the old areas, I have increased my income, and by decreasing it for the new areas, I have increased the amount of sims that want to move into my city. If you are able to read the text in the game a little bit better, it is because I have started using an NVIDIA setting called DSR Smoothness. It kind of sharpens up the image, so it's kind of easier to read, and I can finally read without bending my eyes what is my income. I can see perfectly now that my income is 10,000, okay, now it's 11,021 credits per week. So that's a small improvement as well. Now this area here has excellent water coverage. I could even go a little bit further down here and extend this pipe here, as I do need to keep expanding. Now I do have a lot of jobs that have yet to be filled. I'm at 77,270 out of 81,000, so about 3,900 jobs yet to be filled, but they should get filled if the sims keep moving in, and I think they do, since I now have 146,700 sims, and sometimes even 280, 300 plus sims moving in per week. So we'll keep expanding down here with the rest of the area that I have here to fill. Again, I have this issue where I get 4x4 or 3x4s, but this is because this area has hills and valleys, and there isn't much that can be done about that. I could use the terraforming tool, but that would really just end up meaning that I might as well have played on a flat map without anything interesting in it, so I am not gonna go into changing that. One thing that I do need to add here is the metro. Whoops, that was a misclick. an expensive misclick. A metro step that's gonna go here, so that I can finish up the metro system network. And then connect into here. Connect the lines, the green and the blue. Interestingly enough, the blue one wants to be a dead end here. No need for that. Strange. Why would the green be doubled up on itself here? That's the problem with these networks, the metro networks. You can't really click on the ones you want to move around. The game actually ends up giving you a lot of trouble to get your mouse onto the right track, or should I say the right line that you want to change. What's going on in networkers? Why is this even zoned like this? Gonna bulldoze this. So here we have residential. How thick is this? 1, 2, 3. So I'm thinking it should go one more line of residential. 4x4, as many as can fit. If not, they'll just fit a little bit smaller houses. And then after that, I'm going with 2 lines of commercial. 4x4, of course. Now the park coverage should be okay, but it looks like I'm losing a little bit of park coverage over here. So I'll probably end up building a new park somewhere below the highway, if at all possible. Let's try this out. Nope, not gonna snap. Yeah, well, then in that case I will just have to build one over here at some point. Let's see, where do we go with the street? All the way here. Okay, and with this one here, which means the park could probably fit around here. Although it may be a little bit too far to give good enough coverage for these buildings, but I'll try with it being here and see what happens. Alright, so the commercial area is going up. The next area will be the offices, and after that goes generic industry, again the offices, more commercial buildings, and then I am running out of space. The question is, what do I continue building down here? I also have a problem of getting below the highway with the streets. I'm going to try that out a little bit later. Just let me see about adding more commercial here. So 3, 4, and then another 4x4. That's pretty much done. I probably haven't extended the bus network. Yeah, I haven't. And I should also see about adding another highway ramp here. One that would go probably through here. So the offices might actually need to be moved 2 spaces down for there to be a highway ramp here. So instead of the commercial, it's gonna be here. Although the ramp is probably going to ruin up some of the zoning, so I might as well first place and then zone. Okay, now I'll just try and get this to be a straight line. There we go. Alright, and now I will need to bulldoze some of these streets to fix the zoning. Again, the zoning gets destroyed often when you're placing the ramps like I am. Okay, but this fixed it up. The offices go here. and the industry after that. Oops, those were the offices. There we go, industry, offices, then commercial once again, and then next to the highway. I was kind of hoping not to have residential, but it seems it's gonna have to be. Also, before I continue, the question is, what do I do with the streets? All of these pillars to the side so that I can get streets going underneath. The only trouble is gonna be this last one here that I somehow have to go around. The question is, how do I go around this pillar? I think I can go like this and then go down here. Yeah, there we go, that worked. Now I have accidentally used some of the other types of roads other than the two-way, two lanes with trees, so I will need to upgrade these roads to match the previously made ones. There we go, that fixes that. And now for the residential areas, they would be going like this through here. Yeah, the zoning is quite terrible in this area here. I guess it could be fixed if the road is remade. At least I hope so. Yeah, it kinda just moves the broken parts of the zones, but this is the best I can get out of this. So let me get the previous zones back and then zone for some residential. That's pretty much everything that can fit in here. And now to add the bus stops, because I now have a cross street through which the buses can go around through. Although this street isn't connected to anything, and I think it's gonna be a dead end unless I go through here and then connect into here. That does the trick. Okay, and now to get back to the buses and the bus stops. Okay, that's pretty much done. The buses would have an easier way going through here if there was a street connecting these. I'm going to try and place it right in between of these highways if at all possible, and it seems to be able to work out. Excellent. Although I can destroy the zones once more, but they can still make homes out of these zones, so I'm gonna be fine with that. And now the buses have a place to turn around. Now the thing is that I didn't really need to do this, because once I expand over here and create a cross street, they will have somewhere to turn around, but for now, as I have not expanded any further, it is better for them to be able to turn around here instead of going back to here every time. So this area probably isn't part of the district. It is not, so that needs to be addressed. There we go. Connected into the same district. Seem to be getting a lot of traffic going through here. Because these idiots here are using the right lane and stopping these guys. So the traffic manager is something that I'm going to try and use to fix this problem. Let's see, change lanes, click here, close down this lane, and just allow them to go to nowhere. I'm going to simply close the lane and see if they're gonna keep using it, or is nobody gonna keep using it. So far so good. Nope, still have some people using it. Yeah, that could still be problematic. Let's try like this. So only if you want to turn left you use that lane, but since there's no turn left, you should only use the middle and the left lane. Hopefully that will help. It's possible that the traffic which is already spawned will not follow this rule, but a little bit later, once new traffic spawns, it might start following this rule and not going through here when it goes up here. And then again, it is actually possible that the only traffic using this one now is the traffic that is trying to turn over here, because they need to turn from this lane into here. Huh. Yeah, so this is still gonna be problematic. It would have actually simplified if I had turned this entire street to be like this. So instead of going down here, they are gonna be going up to here and then turning into the highway as an on-ramp. Then I will change the direction of all these streets here, the highway ramps I mean, and then make this an off-ramp over here. If that becomes possible, there we go. So instead of them going from here to here to here, they're all gonna keep going up there. They should now prevent the traffic from creating the same problem it did just a moment ago. Let's see, change lanes, choose this one here, turn off this one so that they do not use the one here, do not use the one here either. So this will hopefully help with this. Why does it have turn left instead of going forward? Very interesting. Hopefully they should make sure that there are no more stoppages of traffic here. I mean, this one is a little bit hard on the traffic. It makes them go all the way left instead of just going through here. But I doubt this could be made any better than it's already made, because there's the park here. Going through like here would not hit this pillar. I'll leave it as it is for now. Not actually happy with it, but I will just leave it as it is now. Okay, so let's see here. Still not all the residential zones filled. Pretty annoying. I was hoping that I could expand down here, but nothing happened there. And why are these buildings not at level 4? Increase the land value. Oh, because there are no parks up here to intersect with this one and create higher land value. Well, could that be fixed somehow? Could I find places for parks up here? Of course, that's pretty much impossible. So, only way to do this would be by placing an actual park here. Well, I guess I can lose a little bit of commercial in order to get a park here, and that should not only increase their happiness and leisure activities, but should increase the land value in this area over here and in these as well. So hopefully soon they will start leveling up to level 4. Some of them are at level 4, or are they? No, still at level 3. Value of land. Yeah, hopefully that will be fixed soon. Okay, and what do we have here? Industry going abandoned. That's to be expected. While I wait for the residents to move in and become workers who are educated and go into the industry as educated workforce and level it up to level 2 and 3. Once they are leveled, they will stop being abandoned and work properly. Alright, so my income is at 15,000, population 150,000. This area here has been filled, and I just realized something, that I'm actually going to need more incinerators, and I'm already producing more garbage than I'm burning. So this area here actually will have to be dezoned, and incinerators fit here, but there does not seem to be enough space here. Yeah, so the street will have to go, of course the buildings as well, and then a street will need to be remade a little bit off to the side, like so, connected then back up. And now there should be enough space for 2 incinerators. Excellent. One will be turned off, one will be turned on. As for this area here, there could be another solar power plant here, but with the street bulldozed. Let's see if it can fit. It should be able to fit nicely and snugly. There we go. And then here, well, commercial, why not? But residential not, so let's go with some offices. Okay, that's pretty much done now. I did kind of forget about the incineration and the power plant, but now that I have placed these, there won't be any more issues with these areas. As for the coverage, high school coverage looks fine. I really need to start using the overlays instead of the schools themselves. University, high school, elementary school, all coverage looks good. The high school will need to go here, the next one, as well as the elementary. As for the health and death care, good coverage. Maybe not perfect coverage, but good enough to keep the buildings in their place and level up. Okay, what's the population? 150, come on, 151. Nope, not yet. Okay, maybe a little bit more time. There we go, 151,000. Excellent. It's gonna go back a little bit, but should level out at 151,000, because I really do not have any more space here. Okay, so this area will just not go up to level 4, so we'll have to force it by using the high-tech housing. Now, if this doesn't move them up to level 4, nothing will. There we go. Arrows going up. Finally, all of these residentials are about to become level 4, and they will be able to level up the commercial areas next to them up to level 3. Excellent. So how about the next residential area? Still a few more spots left to be upgraded, but I think it's time to expand this district, which brings with itself the raised taxes down to these guys here. This will also bring the high-tech housing, so these buildings here will level up as well. And as you can see here, pretty much all of these high-density residentials have leveled up to level 4. And the ones that haven't, hopefully, will very soon, because the land value in this area is much higher than it used to be. As for the power and water, I seem to have enough capacity, just enough when it comes to the water consumption, around 100 k extra, and same for the garbage, a little bit less for the sewage actually. But so far so good. 151,000 population. Still some industry to bulldoze until it levels up. So how is my education? 46% highly educated, 32 well educated, 16 educated, 6 uneducated. So that's getting better and better. I do have 2,000 teams that are not being educated by the high schools because I don't have enough capacity, and I should fix that up. Well, in that case, I might as well just build the high school here, and that should take care of this. The bus ride comes to here, but I had destroyed some of the roads, so now I need to remake this. Okay, population 152,000. I have pretty much finished up this area here, brought down the district which increases the tax to a lot of these areas. Right here, as you can see. So basically all that's left to done is just wait for the population to actually move in, so that we can get more population and more workers. Okay, so that is enough for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more.